I to assume that every time they have a gaming machine, we have to approve every gaming machine?
Oh, sure. Yep,
Yeah, we issue those.
We do.
Most of them we do annually.
Right.
but we keep an eye open for the number. My office monitors the number, and the chief didn't mention that his department did a survey of all of the establishments in town to see if any of these machines did exist elsewhere.
So if this machine is in another community, it's been removed? I heard you say something about,
The police department's allowed to seize the machines, and that's what's been happening across the state. We've been in contact with several other agencies that are investigating them, so.
But as far as there was one at another establishment in North Reading also, which has since been removed too.
Yes.
And that establishment, did they have a permit from us for automatic amusement devices?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
It was a convenience store also.
Right.
Mr. Chair? I just
So you-
want to have a point of clarification. First, they have to have a license to have amusement devices, and then they have to have a license, or it's included in that, which type?
No,
They can
one,
have-
one license is sufficient. One license per establishment, which enumerates and lists out the number of machines that are there.
And the kind of machines?
Yeah.
so I guess, if we, thinking about dealing with this in the future, for those, for those that currently have amusement license, amusement machine license, right? We don't have a list of we can't have, or some policy
No.
within that license, so that those that have a license could, in fact, bring one of these machines in, and we wouldn't even know about it until someone alerted us to the fact.
I think the
At which point, then, we could legitimately ask it to be removed,
Or seize it.
Seize it.
or seize it.
And again, just for the record, this is a machine called a coin pusher or a treasure chest. So people may be saying, what is this machine? It's a coin pusher. Good point.
So we can pass over this.
I suggest that the
Then we
board
vote it
take action
down.
to vote
Vote it down.
to deny it.
And just in relation to our current license holders, do we have any mechanism to, on a periodic basis, just venture into the establishment, make sure that they are legal? Is that part of your protocol, Chief?
It will be, going
Will be,
forward.
okay.
I mean, this certainly brought an issue to light.
Yeah.
And the town administrator asked us to check into what we checked every establishment that was open to the public, and I gave them a report based upon that, and there were only what we appeared to be 2 violations. And they were both advised of the licensing, which is, I think, how this got prompted.
To confiscate them, they have to be, what's the requirement for you to be able to do that? I guess one is, it's a state law that you can't use a specific type of machine, whatever you wanna call it, but supposing if they have an open license, which is how I'm seeing what you're saying, to have amusement games there, if it's legal as far as the state is concerned, then can the police go in and confiscate it for any other reason? Or is it just it has to be an illegal game like this one?
As far as if it was just a pinball machine, we don't have the authority to, but if it is an illegal gambling device, there's a statute that allows us to seize it on site.
Right.
And then there are other statutes that allow us to charge not only the person working, but the establishment where it is. And there's games popping up all the time, so they don't list the games that are,
Right.
but it's, if you're able to get some product back based upon a chance, and it's not licensed by the lottery, it's considered an illegal gambling device.
That's the key.
And that's
Okay.
not to quote me in the law, but that's essentially what it is.
Mr. Christopher?
So if we vote this down, then he cannot come in and submit for amusement device license the rest of the year?
No, he can
No, he
come,
can.
he
He
can
can
come
come in
in,
anytime.
he can come and ask for any
Because
other device.
You know, they're trying, I assume they're doing these things to try to create some revenue for
Yeah.
their company. I don't wanna keep that from happening for them. If they can come up with a machine that meets our bylaw, and meets the Massachusetts law, then I would be okay with it, but, okay, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah, so basically there's two issues, Mr. Chairman. One is for our licensed establishment who have come in and got the amusement devices, permits from us to be assured that they have legitimate devices in their establishment.
Yes.
And then we have two situations which just came to light, that we had regular establishments in town that don't have a permit for the amusement devices, that had a couple, and they just happen to be illegal ones to boot.
Essentially.
Correct. So, apparently the chief's on top of it as far as protocol and checking those establishments that don't have a license from us on a regular basis, but also even those that do, just to make sure that they have the right types of devices available to the public. And again, to Mr. Prisco's point, you know, if Mr. Patel wants to come in and petition us for an amusement device license, I don't have any problem with it so long as it's acceptable. And I, for one, would give these two shop owners the benefit of the doubt of
Yeah, me too.
not knowing that
It's tough out there.
the devices were not
Everybody's trying to do
necessarily
everything they
legal.
can to make money,
So
so.
I don't want anybody to jump to a conclusion that
Yeah.
these establishments were looking to do anything illegal. I'm assuming based
He's
upon your
unaware.
reaction and the department's reaction, that's the consensus.
Yes,
In fact, he volunteered to remove it when he commented it was illegal.
yes.
Good. Thank
Further
you.
questions, discussion? Hearing none,
Oh, I haven't read the motion yet.
Yes. Read the motion, Mr.
Thank you,
Prisco.
Chief. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the automatic amusement device license for 28 Convenience located at 4 Lowell Road, subject to all regulatory department requirements.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Prisco, second by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor? All opposed?
No.
Unanimous? No. Motion is lost.
I probably had a better chance of winning on these things than I did at that game the other night. you know?
Mega Millions?
Even though the odds are still stacked against me.
So true.
Okay, we have men class 2 licensed automotive assets.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
please let the minutes and records show that I will not be participating in any discussion and/or votes, if there is one to be taken this evening, because I have a family member who has a Class 2 license in the town.
Mr. O'Leary? So basically, just to bring the board up, I went back and forth with Darren. He wrestled with, because the thing just didn't fit right. In fact, at one point he said to me, if the guy had applied to do this out of his house, it would have been easier. And then I sent him a copy of the license request, and then he came back and said that, well, you saw the,
Yeah.
language, you're supposed to read it, so I think we're covered to grant the license with restrictions. I guess the question is, restrictions that we voted last time around adequate?
Yes.
I believe so. I can read them again if you want, or,
I thought they were too, I'm just asking if there's an issue.
I don't know. I think we did a good job. Okay.
So, we don't, do we need another
No
motion at this point?
No action.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. The last meeting, I had brought that up, that why doesn't he just do a home occupancy license? And from what I'm gathering here, that he actually could have done that, he really didn't need to come to us, is that?
He doesn't live in town.
That's right, he's not having it in his house, right, okay.
Right.
Right.
I think what Darren was saying was, based on his interpretation of the language, it would have been easier to
Right.
do that. So, what action do we need to take?
No action necessary.
I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Can we maybe talk about and do the appointment now? Was it,
We can, sure.
unless you have somebody coming
Why,
in?
is there somebody,
No, nobody's coming in.
there's no one coming in, but,
Right. let's just get it done before we get into the other two subjects that may take a little bit longer.
Wish of the board? Okay, good. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to place in nomination the following name for appointment as member of the Recycling Committee for an indefinite term. M. Shepherd Spear, 41 Lakeside Boulevard.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Prisco, second by Mr. Yu.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chair, I think we all know Chef Spear. He's always interested in doing something good for the community, volunteering his time. He's approached a few, volunteered himself quite a number of times and for quite a number of years. He's already been going to the meetings as a public observer, so if you would, I recommend him very highly.
Any other comments? Motion by Mr. Prisco, I heard a second by
Mr. Yule?
Mr. Yule. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm so used to hearing the second from this side of the.
Yeah, I know.
He's a liaison.
Right. Okay, FY 2013 revenue plan / budget. Mr.
Hi, board members. Could you refer to in the supplement, there's a green copy, and it's labeled number 7, and I'll wait till everyone finds it before I start my discussion.
Supplement. Page, Greg?
Green. First
Green.
Green, well, blue on mine, but,
Well, it should be green.
Okay.
Should be.
Yep, it's green.
Turquoise. It's almost there.
And it's page 33.
I don't want Mike looking for green in his.
Put up number 7.
Oh, wait a second.
Mr. Bellicon.
Oh, wait a second.
Everybody get it?
Yeah,
Got it?
I got it.
Okay. So what I'd like to do is just start off and give the board an update in terms of the accounts and available funds that we have right now. The reason I'd like to do so is part of the budget that I will be asking the board to approve later this month is predicated on drawing down some of our reserves. And so the first page is a listing of the different reserve accounts that we have. They consist from items from free cash, stabilization fund, debt stabilization fund, water infrastructure fund, Stickney Well Fund, solid waste fund, town-owned land, cell tower fund, and the fiscal year 2012 supplemental state aid. So what I've done is listed those out. As we go through the discussion, please just keep in mind that in no instances are we recommending any funds being used from the stabilization fund. And really the purpose of this is just to give some ideas to the board and see what the board might is interested in doing. But I don't anticipate any money coming from the stabilization fund, the water infrastructure fund, or the Stickney Well Fund. So if you turn to page 2, page 2 is a summary that identifies what we have seen as surpluses in the fiscal year 2013 budget. That's this fiscal year. And you'll note that we've listed employee benefits, property and liability insurance, the vocational school assessment, and an amount of money that was reserved in the fire department budget for recruit training. Those surpluses total $511,000. And as we go a little bit further through the discussion on the budget, you'll see what the plan is, or what I hope we do with those monies.
Great. FEMA.
Not shown.
It's not shown, we haven't received.
Haven't received it. And fingers are crossed that those monies come in and we can spend them either at June town meeting or we can spend them in October. Hasn't been received yet. And that's for the storms in August and October. If you want to turn to page 3. Page 3 is a listing of the current status of the debt or the capital stabilization fund. And you'll note that, going through the budget, we've been drawing down on this account on a regular basis. And the part of the proposal that I would submit to the board to consider is that we continue our drawdown on this account. But at the same time, we look to bolster this amount. So the current balance is $376,693. That's the balance as of today. Previously, I'd indicated to you in the first 2 pages some of the reserves and surplus